All those Leeds scarves swinging around the heads of the fans in the stadium. Leeds United are in the playoff final, and let's be quite frank, it's one of the most dominant, one of the most comfortable playoff semi-final victories in a single leg we've ever had. I think the chat through the night said only ever bettered once by Leicester, apparently in the early 90s, winning a single playoff game by 5 goals. Leeds have won by 4 goals tonight. There was a chasm between the two teams in the regular season. There has been a chasm between the two teams tonight. We wondered, could Leeds get back their form? They haven't looked themselves really. 1 win in 6, ended the season really, really badly. Just lost confidence, lost a bit of energy, but they looked very, very much like the team that won. Was it something like 13 in 14 or 14 in 15, something like that from New Year? And it was all done by half-time. We know Elland Road can get nervy. We know it can be their biggest strength and their biggest weakness, but it was their biggest strength tonight because they got in front early on in this one and rode it out, Leeds United. 7 minutes gone. Ilya Gruev. You can look at it either way. Angus Gunn is badly caught out, and it is also a very clever free kick. Do your percentages, how much of one or how much of the other. But in big one-off tournament games like this, knockout football, set plays, so vital, and to just set Leeds on their way. It looked like something that had been engineered by the set play team at Leeds. So if that's the case, they've got their details right. And the difference between good and great, wise man say, is in the detail. Leeds then get the second goal on 20. They just break down the right-hand side. And we said Norwich's centre-backs weren't mobile, did we? And we got Willie Gnonto against Ben Gibson, kind of in the inside right channel, in the half space. And Gibson wanted no part of going towards the byline with Willie Gnonto. He didn't want to close him down for fear of getting skinned. He just stands off him, and it's an easy cross for Gnonto. He just floats it up to the back post. Easy header for Joel Piroe at the back post. And then, strangely, considering Norwich barely had a single kick all night in the opposition's penalty box, a huge, huge chance for Norwich at 2-0. And who the hell knows what would have happened if Josh Sargent, and he should have scored, if he had have scored that 1v1 chance. Poor from Ampadu. He slides in. Sargent is clean through. He's hot favourite. Can he put it through the legs? Can he go this side? Can he go that side? Can he run round the keeper? It's a good save by Meslier. He goes for the dink. Meslier gets his arm up. But Josh Sargent, Norwich's best striker, should score. And who knows what happens then? Does Elland Road get nervous? Remember, it was a 2-goal margin they were up against Derby in 2019. But they didn't get on the score sheet. Norwich and Leeds played it really nicely from them. We saw Daniel Farke come to the touchline about half an hour in and just say, calm everything down. And you could see clearly from that moment in the first half, when Leeds had chances to blast away and send 5 forward on a counter-attack, they just took their time. And I've got to say, that worked a treat. They picked Norwich off really easily. They could have had the 3rd, the 4th, maybe the 5th before half-time. They got the 3rd. Again, it's a Norwich centre-back. This time it's Duffy on the right. He's running in treacle against Piroe down the right-hand side. Piroe runs straight past him. Look, they get a couple of lucky bounces, don't they? And I think it's actually Duffy who ends up knocking it across to Georgie Rutter. But Rutter roofs it, puts it barring in 3-0. And, you know, honestly, that wasn't out of kilter with my eye test on the first half. It was really, really dominant from Leeds. And I think I did one of them at 3-0, even though we were before half-time. It was all done and dusted. Leeds came out in the second half looking really strong. Could have got the 4th goal probably 3 times. I made it in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Things quietened down a little bit. And then almost when it had quietened down in terms of Leeds powering forward, Summerville got the 4th, which means that Piroe, Rutter and Summerville, so 3 of the front four. Only Nonto not scoring in this one today. And it's poor from Gunn, isn't it? He spills the shot. Makes it really, really easy for Firpo. He just has to square the ball, as I said at the time, to the Championship Player of the Year with an open goal, you know, kind of 6 yards out, and he just strokes it in. 4-0. A playoff massacre. A playoff hammering. Call it what you like. Leeds are now going to be high on confidence going into the final. We're going to find out tomorrow. Are they going to be playing Southampton? Are they going to be playing West Brom? I'm not sure what has to happen tomorrow night for Leeds not to be favourites after tonight, because all their confidence is going to be right back up. Even people like Georgie Rutter, who really haven't been playing so well, got a goal, looked good, and I think they're really, really going to fancy the final now. We know Leeds are going to fill up the vast swathes of that stadium down in London. You know, there's going to be 40,000 Leeds fans there, depending on how many corporate tickets are sold. And they're going to be a hard team to beat in the final, whoever gets in there, whether it is Southampton or West Brom. So to conclude on Leeds, very, very worthy winners tonight. They nailed it. They got themselves in front and they just picked Norwich off time and again. 4-0 didn't flatter Leeds. It could have been 5. It could have been 6. They've won this one really easily. And those people that have been whining about the playoff format, not me, I bloody love the playoffs, but those people who think that it's an injustice that third doesn't get straight to the final, well, there you go. Third place is in the final. Leeds got 90 points during the regular season. And I'll say it again, there was a chasm between Leeds and Norwich points-wise during the season, and a chasm between Leeds and Norwich tonight in this playoff semi-final second leg. For Norwich, well, what happens next? The parachute payments are over. Remember, Norwich only got 2 years of payments because they were only up in the Premier League for 1 year. They were obviously down in the Championship last season with Dean Smith, and then David Wagner took it on. Wagner looked like he was a dead man walking in November. He did turn it around when he got Josh Sargent and Borja Sainz fit and back in the team. You can't help feeling, pick any number of these players, Sainz, Sarah, Rowe, Sargent. You can't help wondering how many of those players have played their last game for Norwich and what's going to be the situation with the manager now going forward. So we will see how that all transpires. But Norwich are going to be in the Championship once again next season for a third consecutive season. And all eyes now on that playoff final. We're going to be on the watch-along tomorrow night for Southampton, West Brom. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments. We'll clip this one out as a separate video tomorrow. And how do you see it going now? Is that Leeds' name on the playoff trophy, so to speak, whoever gets through to the final tomorrow?